Good morning, Royals. It is Saturday, but more importantly, countdown finished. It's my birthday. I'll let you guess how old I am. We have a day planned today, so stay tuned. Yesterday, didn't really do anything because New York basically got flooded. I mean, talking about subways, streets, it was flood city. So didn't feel like going out, didn't feel safe going out, and it was raining all day. It's actually gonna rain this morning, but I'm not letting that ruin my birthday. I'm still going out. So stay tuned. I have a day planned just for you and I. All right, made it to Battery Park, Castle Clinton Monument to be exact. This is the meeting place. A little chaotic right now. Supposed to present some tickets and I have not seen anybody to present anything. But it was about a 15, 20 minute ride on the train, 2 trains here, but we made it. Let me show you what it looks like. Found our tour guide. Actually, I didn't catch his name, but he seems kind of fun and funny. We're about to get ready to go soon. All right, so as you can see behind me, we have to go through federal security because we're going on from state to federal land. So just know that when you're coming to, don't have any weapons or drugs on you. I hope we'll be able to see some stuff because it's really, really foggy right now. But you can see her, just Statue of Liberty, like right there. Have made it to Liberty Island. As many times I've been to New York, born in New York, visited New York multiple times, have never seen the Statue of Liberty up close. I'm excited.
It was given out by the Dutch governor and then traded around a few times privately. There was a farmstead here and a garden, and it was kind of a party island. They would throw some crazy oyster binks.
Great seeing her up and close. Now we are waiting. We got about 20 minutes before we have to meet with the tour guide again. We are now in the Liberty Museum. Just kind of wasting time until it's time to go see him again.
Right now, but I absolutely, like, if you want to get food while you're here, do not eat out here. I have seen twice them take a whole pizza slice out of someone's hand, and once an entire burger, didn't even drop an onion, just the whole thing. Yeah, so the seagulls here are crazy and I get it. And fishermen would come here, get drunk, punch each other after their shifts and stuff like that, sometimes before, who knows. Now, there was kind of an economic bubble. People thought that this was worth a lot of money. This property should be worth a lot of money. Private island, New York Harbor, that's the big bucks. 2.5 acres is really tiny, like really tiny. Also, it flooded all the time. No rich person wanted to build a house here, and you cannot run a lucrative business on an island. You're selling to fishermen and only fishermen.
We are entering what is today the cafe, but back in the day when Ellis Island existed, this used to be the baggage room, by the way. Well, this is the main lobby, and if you're interested, there is a cafe. Yeah, it's over this way, and you can eat in there and take a rest. Finally inside the Ellis Island Museum. I'm wanting to do this for a long time. There's 3 floors to the museum. The bottom floor is just like a library type thing. The second floor is, what did he say? It's actually where like the hospital and people were kept. And the third floor is probably, well, according to him, it's the most interesting. It's where the artifacts that the people brung from their country here, it was left here, whatever. You can purchase the audio tour. I don't know how much. If I ever do this again, I'll do it. But which by the way, I actually purchased this whole 4-hour tour through Viator. It includes the personal tour, Jet, that was his name. And he gives us the story, like the short synopsis of the Statue of Liberty, and he did the same thing for Ellis Island. And then it's up to you to do if you want to purchase anything else inside of the places so that you can get a more detailed view of the places you visit. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to kind of tour on my own and then head back. Welcome to the registry room. This is where new arrivals from 1900 to 1924 are waiting to be inspected by registered immigration service officers. As many as 5,000 people would file through this space. For most immigrants, this Great Hall epitomized, I didn't say that right, Ellis Island. Here they encounter complex demands, immigration laws, and an American bureaucracy that could either grant or withhold permission to land in the United States. The registry room has been restored to its appearance in 1918 through 1924. About to go through America's Gate. Basically, this exhibit is the wing, describes step by step what most new arrivals experience on Ellis Island. The main function of Ellis Island's officers were to screen out the undesirable, which included the incurable ill, the impoverished, the disabled, criminals, and all others barred by the immigration laws of the United States. Well, this really feels like I'm in the actual hospital. You are coming from Europe or whatever country you're coming from with all of this on your back. For example, here's a family right here. One way the doctors would check for a disease, one called trachoma, they would take this instrument, let's see, yes, this instrument here, and put it in someone's eyes, turn it upside down to see if they had a disease. Okay, here's the step-by-step through inspection process. They arrive in New York, entering Ellis Island. They go through a medical inspection, then a legal inspection, and then admission into Manhattan. Here's an example of some money that the immigrants brought to them in exchange when they got to the U.S. The second floor was really, really interesting. Some fun facts. only a third of the immigrants from other countries actually went to Manhattan. Most of them actually went on the New Jersey train line and were scattered throughout the country. So it's a myth that people think that all these immigrants stayed in New York City. They didn't. Most of them went to the Midwest and to the West because there was a lot more land that was being offered for immigrants at a cheap price or free at that point. And then a lot of them, their relatives were already in the Midwest or West, so they had to travel on the New Jersey line to get there in the first place. Some immigrants did have to go through trial hearings to see if they could be admitted into or past Ellis Island. Honestly, 98% of them were admitted, not via the hearing, just other reasons. They either paid their way through. Another fun fact, if you carry $4,500 in your pocket from the country, which equaled out to over $100,000 in today's money, then you were deemed rich, and you were automatically allowed, without any hearing, without any tests or anything, you were just automatically became a citizen to the U.S. So only really 2% were either detained to go back to, or to be deported back to their country, or they had to be detained in Ellis Island at the hospital or for whatever reason. But most of them, like I said, 98% of them actually made it to the U.S. in different areas of the U.S. I do recommend actually purchasing the little audio machine thing. I usually do, but this time I did not want to do that because I've been up on my feet 6:30 this morning, so I was just like, let me just skim through it. I am reading, obviously, because I didn't have those facts ready, unless I read, right? So I'm just kind of reading through everything and just kind of walking on. If I would have had the audio, I would have kind of had to listen to every single exhibit, and I just didn't want to do that. I'm going to come back when I have more time and when I have better shoes to actually just do Ellis Island and not do the Statue of Liberty. That way I can spend more time here. Heading up the elevator to floor 3, which is the last floor. So you're looking at a room that contained at least 40 people in this room, and according to the notes here, from 1900 to 1908, the dormitories consisted of 2 long, narrow rooms, one of either side of the balcony. Each room accommodated about 300 detainees who slept in triple-tier bunk beds that could be raised, thus converting the dormitory into a daytime waiting area. At night, immigrants received blankets to spread over their canvas or wire mesh mattresses. And here's the bathroom. Okay, FYI, I don't like heights, and the fact that I have to walk across this railing, I'm not really liking it. I'm on the 3rd floor in the last exhibit, which I'm most excited about because these are artifacts left by the immigrants that they have restored or kept preserved so that people can see. The next set of clips is going to be different things from different immigrants. Actually, I thought that was the last exhibit. This is the last exhibit called Silent Voices. Fun fact, while I take you around here, Ellis Island was permanently closed at the end of World War II, but the building and the area just stood and deteriorated until people started seeing, taking pictures, photographers came by, just reporters, anyone that was thinking that it was such a shame that this building was deteriorating. So by 1980s, the restoration project began through the government, and other people raised funds and things to get the building and the island back to a state to where it can be used as like a museum. So what you're looking at now are photos from people, random people who just took photos showing the deterioration. You're going back on the ferry, be sure to follow the correct signs. Go to the one that says Ferry to New York and Battery Park. Not the one that says to Statue of Liberty in New Jersey, unless that's where you're going. I was wondering if the other buildings still existed, and they do. I don't think it's open, but these are some of the other buildings that was connected to Ellis Island in the early 20th century. So one was like the sick bay that held for contagious diseases. The other building was for people who were detained, and then there was like a residence building as well. But you can definitely tell a difference in the restoration from the previous buildings to this one, because this one is like light and bright, where these are still kind of deteriorating. They look old. Alright, the ferry is just arriving. It's going to be a few minutes before the people on the boat exit before we have to get back on. So while I'm waiting, let me go ahead and give my total review for this whole experience. Number one, if you have never used Viator to book any of your tours, excursions, I highly suggest. I got introduced to Viator when I went to Amsterdam earlier in the year, and they did not disappoint. The tour guides are knowledgeable, they are trustworthy, at all of that. What goes the same thing for this one as well. This guy was, although young, he was very knowledgeable, knew what he's talking about. Just make sure you bring some cash so that you can tip them in the end. But all in all, I enjoyed this experience. The first experience, the Statue of Liberty, I enjoyed it. I got pictures. I've never been that close to the Statue of Liberty before, so I was happy to do that. But you do have to, if you get the experience I did, you do have to purchase separate tickets to actually go on the podium or under the Statue of Liberty, or go on top of the Statue of Liberty. I didn't really want to do that because all I really wanted the picture to show I was there, to be that close. I've never been that close, so that was good enough for me. Ellis Island, 10 out of 10 experience. Okay, Statue of Liberty, for what I wanted, it was a 10 out of 10 experience. Ellis Island, 10 out of 10 experience, and really knowledgeable, enjoyed myself. I think it would have been better if I would have, like I said earlier, got the audio, but I just didn't feel like doing it. So I highly suggest doing it. For what I did, it was great. I've heard about Ellis Island through documentaries, looking at stuff at PBS and things like that, but it's nothing like actually being on the island in the building to just kind of be engulfed in what the immigrants experience. So I love that experience. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. If you received any entertainment value in what you've seen today, please do to hit that like button. And like I said, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Until next time.